YouTube, what is going on? Back in my latest video. Today I have a return from CGC. So I believe this is 13 books from them. Not really sure which books they are. So really excited to get into these and see what grades we got. So without further ado, let's get ready into it. But before we do that, hit that like button down below. Let me know you guys are enjoying these videos. And as always, if you're new to this channel, welcome to the subscribe button down below as well. So you updates on my most recent content. And hit that bell notification so you're alerted as soon as I post a video. Alright guys, so like I said, I don't know what books these are, but I don't believe it's a pre-screen, which means you actually are able to select the grades, the minimum grade you would like. Otherwise they won't grade it, they'll just charge you a $5 service fee. With 13 books, it doesn't meet the minimum threshold, so I believe these are all going to be random grades and random books. So we're just hoping for some high grades here, and we'll just go by one, and I'll tell you a little bit about the books as we go. So first book, up first we have Ninja Turtles number 13. I believe this is the first print from 1988. Pretty cool book. I don't believe this is a set of books that I pressed myself, but I think I got this for a relatively cheap price. I'm looking at the book right here. I'm gonna guess with the black back, it's got some like fingerprints on it maybe. I'm gonna guess an 8.0 on this one. Let's see what we got. 8.0, there we go. So I'm getting better with the predicting the grades, but this isn't bad at all. Ninja Turtles number 13, you know, back then these books were hard to grade. You know, the paper they were on, you know, just that time. It's harder to get Ninja Turtle books in higher grade than it is some other books from the 80s, that I've found at least. Maybe you guys have had a different experience, but 8.0, not bad at all. You know, these early Ninja Turtle books I like to get graded, and just a really dope cover, early Turtles appearance. So there you guys go, starting off with an 8.0. You know, we're definitely looking for higher than that. Hopefully we get some, at least one 9.8 in here. Like I said, I don't know what books these are, so I don't know if even these books should be expected to get a 9.8, but we'll see. Alright, so up next, we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 1. This is the first appearance of the Power Rangers in comics. So I completely forgot I sent this in, because I had number 2 that I sent in the video a long time ago that I believe you guys saw, but I forgot I had number 1 that was out there. On this one, I'm going to guess a 9.6. It was in pretty solid shape, but 9.6 is probably what's going to get. Let's see. 9.0. Okay, so I think I got this in my local shop for like 10 bucks, so it wasn't expensive at all. Power Rangers is something I grew up with, one of my favorite shows of all time. I had all the toys, I have all the Funko Pops over there, so very cool to get this in the collection. Definitely something nostalgic for me, something I grew up with. And you know, this is a book that was getting hot for a minute. I don't know if it's really as hot as it once was, but definitely was kicking up, and I was glad to get it in the collection before the prices got kind of too out of hand. But 9.0, not bad at all for a kid's book from the 90s. Kind of hard to get those in higher rate as well. Up next, okay, so we have Spider-Man number 239. This is the newsstand. So they're finally putting the newsstand on the cover of the books. I don't think this one was in the best of shape, but I don't see any issues on this. I'm going to guess an 8.0. This is the first appearance of the Hobgoblin, right? Yeah, first Hobgoblin versus Spider-Man battle. So this is like right after the first appearance of Hobgoblin. So let's see what we got. 8.0. All right, not bad. Not bad at all for a book from the early 80s. I don't know, I'll look later. I mean, I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing why the books got what they got, but this is 8.0. There's a little bit of corner, a little bend in the top right. These books were all pressed, I think, by CCS. I think this is the last group of books that I didn't press myself. I don't think they had any issues with them, but these were professionally pressed, so that's probably the best you're going to get as far as grades are concerned. Even with that corner, it feels like I probably could have got that out, but no big deal. Alright guys, up next, oh wow, so we have Sonic the Hedgehog number 13 from 1994. This is the first appearance of Knuckles in comic books. So I got this one in my local comic book shop as well. This one's got a really cool back cover as well. I'll show you guys once we show the grade. But on this one, I guess a 9.0 as well. And we got a 9.0. Alright, so the first appearance of Knuckles, it doesn't say it on there actually, but it is the first appearance of Knuckles in comic books. It's got that vintage Lisa Frank back right there. For people grew up in the 90s, that's what like every girl had, was Lisa Frank stuff back then. So very cool first appearance of Knuckles. This book was hard it's hard to get as well. Like some of these animation stuff is why I send them out. It's not that they're like incredibly expensive, but they're more rare than other books. Like you don't come across them as often. So when I get them, I like to preserve them and have them in the collection. Really cool things, the stuff I grew up with, and that's what I like to collect. Speaking of that, we have up next Powerpuff Girls #1. So this is actually not going to get a high grade at all. I think this is the Burger King edition, isn't it? Yeah, so it's the Burger King edition. So this one it's even harder to get in high grade, even though it's not really expensive. They were given away in Burger King, so you can only imagine for a kid's comic given out at Burger King how much damage could have been caused to this. I'm gonna guess like a 5.0 on this one. 3.5. Yeah, so this one's pretty low grade. You can get in high grade for not that much money, I guess, or not a credible amount of money. But this is probably something I wouldn't have sent out. Now, like I said, I think they sent these out maybe a year or two ago. So it's been a while since this has actually been there. And I think I sent another copy of Powerpuff Girls that was much higher grade recently that I pressed myself. So hopefully that one comes in. That one's got to be above a 9.0 at least. So this is probably one I would not have sent, or I definitely would not have sent nowadays. But still, it's harder to get in a higher grade. But that's not high grade at all. So that was a mistake, all in all. All right, up next, another animation book. We have Beauty and the Beast #1 from 1994. I don't know if this is the first appearance of Beauty and the Beast, but obviously #1 for Beauty and the Beast. Pretty cool book to get. Got a 9.2. All right, so that's pretty good for these Disney books. Normally, like the ones I've sent in the past, I've gotten like 9.0s. I don't know if I've gotten 9.4s, but 9.2 is not bad. Again, these 90s books aren't expensive at the moment, but I think they will be one day just because they're kids books. They're harder to get in higher grade because kids mess up things. You know, I was a kid around this time, and that book would not have survived to be a 9.2 in my hands. So 9.2 to get that is pretty solid. All right, guys, moving right along. I think we have actually a decent amount of books left. All right, so up next we have the third printing of Pikachu Shocks Back #3. So this is a Pokemon book, obviously. I didn't know this was the third printing. I thought it was the first printing when I sent it over. But this book was in pretty solid shape. I think I actually got this out of the like the pack they come in. So 9.6 maybe? 9.8. So there we go. So we got our first 9.8 of the day. This is very cool cover. You got Brock and Geodude on there with Pikachu surfing, as well as, I guess that's red. It's not Ash. I don't think Ash is in the like the manga or the comic book, so I think that's red right down there. But very, very cool. 9.8 third printing, but still 9.8 is a win. I think there might be some more Pokemon books in here. We'll see. Yep. So we got #4 as well, the third printing. Hopefully this one gets a 9.8 as well. Very cool Pikachu cover right there. And it also got a 9.8. So very, very nice. So on to better grades after that Powerpuff Girls. So we have two 9.8s in a row with these Pokemon books. Very, very cool. I think there should be two more. #1 and 2. Oh, okay. So we have the fourth printing of Dragon Ball Z #1. This one looks pretty solid. I've had issues with this in the past getting high grade, or I should say higher grade. I normally get like a 9.0. So just for consistency and my luck, let's guess 9.0. 9.2. Alright, so we got a slight improvement. 9.2 for the fourth printing of Dragon Ball Z #1. This is a book that's been getting a little bit more widely available. People have been caught on to this book being available for an affordable price. So 9.2 for the fourth printing, not bad at all. I think that book has up like to 12 printings. It's not a book that was not printed scarcely. So up next we have Spy-Man #1. This is the most random book in this set of books, but Spy-Man #1 from 1966, Harvey publication. I believe this is the first appearance of Spy-Man in comics, and it got an 8.0. That's actually pretty good. So it's Jim Steranko's first professional work, and it is the origin and first appearance of Spy-Man. So that's actually a pretty big win right there. I actually got this book, I think, for $1. It was very, very cheap. Got it in like a lot that I got online, and 8.0 for this is pretty solid indeed. So happy to get that, a 1966 book for 8.0. I mean, that's pretty impressive right there, especially for the price I paid for it. Alright guys, up next, this is another really old book. This book I don't think they were able to press. I think there's a few they weren't able to press. And this is 4-color number 119. So this is the first, I believe it's the first appearance of Felix the Cat. I think it might be. With it being a book they couldn't press, obviously I'm looking for low grade, maybe like a 1.0 in this one. Okay, so 2.0. So it's not bad at all. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a controversy with the cover, but Felix the Cat, first appearance, I believe. I don't know why it doesn't say it on there. Maybe it's not, but it was credited, maybe his first Felix the Cat number 1 or something like that. So I like to pick up these old animation stuff through the 4-color lines. But 2.0, it's not bad, as it seems for a book from 1946. So that book is almost 80 years old at this point. So that's a book that I just had to preserve because in the condition that it is in, it wasn't going to last much longer without being preserved in some type of way. But the 2.0, I'm actually pretty pleased with. That's not a bad grade. Up next, we have number 208 from 4-color. This is another one of the Song of the South, and what's the ride that just shut down? Oh man, it's not coming to me right now. Splash Mountain. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But it's one of those characters from there, Brer Rabbit and the bear. I forget the bear's name. But this is another one of the books. I think I have the other ones. There's 3 in this whole collection that were from 4-color from Song of the South. This book got a 3.0. So this is another book I think they wouldn't press just since it was so old in the condition of the book, but a 3.0 is actually pretty solid for this book. If you ever look for these books online, the 4-color ones from Golden Age, where we're talking like 75, 80-year-old books, they're hard to find, and they're hard to find in condition better than the 3.0. If you find one that's like 7.0, that's extremely impressive. And then I actually think there's only one more book. So the final book is actually 4-color number 129. So I think this is the first Song of the South book in 4-color. There is another one that I believe I have. I don't know if I've sent it out to get graded though. But it's got Brer Rabbit on the cover as well. This one actually got a 4.0. Okay. So this is Uncle Remus and his Tail. Yeah, this is the movie adaptation of Song of the South. So this is the first one right there. And very, very cool to get a 4.0 on this one. That's actually ending on a high note for me. 4.0, I'm actually pretty pleased with that. If this gotten a 5.0, I'd be over the moon. But 4.0 for this book is pretty good. I'm not mad at this one at all. 1946, so 80 years, a couple years. Very cool book to finish off on. So that is all I have for you guys today. Just those 13 books. I do have some other orders coming in from CGC, and I have a lot of this stuff that I've picked up that I want to show you guys as well. So make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Hit the like button if you enjoyed these books, and drop down in the comment section below what your favorite one was from this video. If you're interested in my Funko Pop content, follow my main channel at ThePopSavage. If you want to check me out on Instagram, check me out there as well at ThePopSavage. You can stay connected there. Thanks again for watching, guys. Till next time, see you.